and welcome to this edition of A Walk Down Memory Lane. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is Alan Douglas, former St. George's Cup match wicketkeeper, former wicketkeeper for Cleveland County and Bermuda as well. But we're just a week or so, just over a week away from the annual Cup Match Classic, Dougie, and excitement is building for clearly who will be selected on Saturday and then who will take the field Thursday and Friday. But take us through when you were a week or so away from making the team, going into that final trial match, because you had played several trial matches before, in order to represent St. George's. So take us through that week leading up to that final trial.
Well, that's a good. Let me turn my TV down. That's a good point because, like you said, I played several trial matches, and that was the training. I don't recall actually training on the team until the team was selected.
Right.
All right. And so the team, let's say Saturday night, will be selected after the final trial. Monday, you obviously show up for a session, and Tuesday, you show up for a session or whatever. But I don't remember ever showing up for sessions to prepare and train for Cup match. So it's totally different now. It's just what it is. Right. The wonderful thing that the selectors did before, and the clubs did, is that remember 24th of May. I never saw 24th of May for years. I was playing a Cup match trial.
Right.
So the Cup match trials were held. You had to have had 5. It'd be interesting if somebody can tell me when that changed, and why did they change? I don't know that, but hopefully somebody could answer that from St. George's administration back in the day or whatever. But we played the 5 trials. The 5 trials gave you plenty of time to showcase your art, and so that was a good thing. It gave the selectors time to look. And you had a good run at a trial. So let's look at it this year. And in the recent years, it's a bit tougher for the players, unfortunately, because they have to go do training. And when they're training, it's hopefully they catch the eye of the coaching staff and the selectors and stuff like that. And then the selectors and coaching staff would probably then obviously look at their numbers and stats and balance of the team and all of those things like that. So, but it's unfortunate that they don't have the luxury of being in a real testing environment for 5 games.
Right.
One of the things that teams say all the time to us at the cricket board, and as I've been high performance chairman, is that but we don't have enough matches before tournament. We don't have enough matches. So that makes sense, and we endeavor to try to, facilitate that. The thing that I'm asking now with St. George and Somerset, they're both the same. So the Cup match teams, is that they don't have the matches where guys could hone the skill. Because remember, it is a different game. You're picking guys basically off for, let's say, we're playing 50 overs this year, which was fantastic. But a lot of other times you're picking them for 2020 matches. So if you got the 5 trials, you've got them open cricket like a county cup all day. Then they test, the betting, bet long, and the bowling in spells, and the bowling with plans and stuff. So it's a better testing environment. So then it will inevitably help the preparation, So I think that, is lost. But again, it's because of the times we're in. It is what it is. Like I said, if Somerset St. George can explain why they took the 5 trials out and, and do a comparison. Should they go back to a bit more trials? I know St. George's played more than Somerset. St. George's had 1 the other week.
Yes.
I think they have 2 or 3.
Last year they had 3.
Right. So, right. So St. George's got it right in trying to have a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Somerset might, and I'm throwing this at Somerset, they might change their mind later on when they start to feel the pinch. But, I think St. George's, if having 3 is not bad. 3 is pretty good.
But
So
it just goes to show, Dougie, that there are available dates to play. You could play on a Saturday. I mean,
yep,
if you offered somewhere in the region of 5 trials, you can look at several different players in those matches. I mean, the guys that really want to try and make it are going to make themselves available as much as possible to play that format, because on the Saturday you can literally play all day.
that's right. So and you raise a very, very good point. It allows more people to be viewed.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, and I'll check this now. You raised that point, and I'm thinking, well, just maybe people gravitate towards Somerset or St. George's to play in their league teams, because it gives them that opportunity to be viewed more.
Yes. Yeah.
Versus, I've got 5 trial matches. That's plenty for them to see me coming from Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And so guys don't have to necessarily leave home to be drawn to that temptation to play those 2 days. So I don't know. Those all those things are out there, and those are challenges for players and challenges for the clubs. I don't want to be in their shoes trying to select teams and all that today. I sort of walked away from that type of stuff.
The other problem that I see what is created today is that if you're cup match training with the cup match club, then you're going away from training with your club.
Yes, true.
Where back when you were playing, you trained with your club and you played
Right.
in trial matches. So you're still giving your time to the club in which you represent, and you're still allowed the time to represent the club that you're looking to represent for cup match. So everyone is a winner in that regard. I mean, if I've got to go cup match training, that means I can't go to my club training, and now my club kind of suffers, because if I'm the opening bowler, now I don't bowl to my batsmen that need me there to bowl to.
Right. And that's a point. That's a point. And then you ask the question, because I wouldn't want to be going to the cup match trainings to be selected, because let's look at it. When you're alienated, when you're pushed to the side.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. You got a vibe. You see if you're bowling early or whatever. And a young guy asked me the other day a question about Max, and was he playing? And I said, no, I was reserve. I said, okay. So you left a particular club and you went down there to make cup match, and you're reserving the league matches. I said, so what do you think your chances are of playing cup match?
Yeah.
So my advice to him was this. I said, tell you what, the only way you have to make an impact, when you do play for them, you got to make an impact if you get a game. The other way to make impact is through training, because they want to see you training hard. They want to see you putting the work in.
Right.
So I said, you take yourself a new ball, you spend some dollars, $40 or whatever, on a new ball. And when you bowl in the nets or out there, you bowl your backside off. And when you get a chance to particularly bowl at the captain or the vice captain or something like that, you make an impact. Mm-hmm. You make an impact how you want. They did this in Australia. I knew this guy used to left-hand quick bowler, man. He used to bring a new ball to training because he wanted to be selected. And he peppered anybody that was in his way.
Right.
Why? And then once the selector see somebody, wow, that guy's got some pace to him. It's got some venom. He's doing some stuff. Then it has them thinking a bit more. And that's what you have to do nowadays, I suppose, to get yourselves. One of the things you have to do to get selected. It's just the environment you're in. That's the window of opportunity they set up. How you grasp it, it's entirely up to you.
Well, let me ask you if you can remember. You made your debut in 1978. There's usually a game before cup match. Did Cleveland play before that year or after cup match? 78. You remember?
Yeah. I had to be after. I don't think we played before. I don't think. I can't remember. It's too far. I know I played FA Cup final that year. I know that.
Right. Yes, I was going to bring that up as well, because you played the two biggest games, that year, and then including Eastern Country. You played in 3 of the major games.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
that year, and it's really exciting.
Right.
But take us through that 1978, waiting to hear whether or not you were going to be selected, because I mean, you've done everything that was supposed to be done along the way, but still, nothing's a guarantee until you actually see your name on the board. So take us through that whole scenario of that evening, waiting to find out if you had been selected.
Well, remember, I was really an Eastern County fella, right?
Yes.
I went down St. George, competing against my neighbor, Mr. Dennis Rainwright, and I didn't have a whole lot of big hopes. It wasn't one of those things, I gotta play cup match, I gotta play cup match. Around Harris's Bay at the time, just go out John Smith Beach, do whatever. It wasn't the biggest thing, but that's just what it was. And so I went to final trial. I was never one to go down to the club and wait to see if my name was called. I left, went up the country. I was with my mate, Gates Smith. You know, we guys just driving town and whatever you want to do, the radio. And it came across the radio that I selected. I said, okay, cool. You know, it was great. It was nice. But it's not like now where I think a lot of people are waiting that much in anticipation. Well, a lot of guys are really, let me tell you something. Let me put this to you. A lot of guys in Bermuda look at cup match as the end all and be all, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem I have. They look at that as the creme de la creme and the highlight of their life. And that is not the highlight of your life. That's one of the highlights of your life. That's one of the great achievements of your life. But that's not your life. That doesn't build you, right? You know, it's the road to making cup match and fighting through and winning and dealing with the losses that build you as a person. But too many guys look to cup match as if it's the end all and be all. You know, I listened to some guys down in Cleveland the other day, and they were chastising a player. Oh, here's a cup match player, and he ain't making a run, and he's acting such and such. I said, dress back now, dress back. He might play cup match. It doesn't mean that he is the best of the best.
Right.
It doesn't mean that he's going to demonstrate the best of anything that you want. So, but that's what the mindset is, that these guys play cup match and they're on this pedestal. And these guys believe that. A young boy say, oh man, you know, cup match, I can get what I want and do this here and go here. I said, you really can? I said, that mindset is ridiculous. It's, like I say, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. You are basically a servant of the country and the people of your clubs in Georgia. So I said, you go there to represent them, and you carry yourself in a way that you do them and yourself and your family proud. Yes, you must enjoy the moment. You must take it in and savor it, because it is wonderful moments.
Right.
But that's not the end of life, you know. But these guys think that, and they walk, you know, they don't even wear their blazers. I'm wondering how proud are they, because they don't wear their blazers around. And you can catch us back in the day. Me, you get me on Saturday. I'm still got my whites and blazers on, coming out of Somerset. You know,
clean whites, clean whites too.
Clean whites coming out. So you know, you got your whites and blazers, and you're like, wow, people know you, you know. But again, it's just changing times. That's what it is. And I've come to realize that I accept it, I embrace it. It's what it is, and I work through it. You know, if I can help any player to understand and try to merge between then and now, then I do that. And you know, I take what was good then, and if we can apply it now, we apply it now. And what's good now, we just accept it. So it is what it is, and that's how the youth are today. That's how they see it. And I had some back in the day that thought the same thing, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah. I had some guys in St. George who thought the same thing back then, but that's just how it is, man.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I want to ask you this question to think about during the commercial break. You replace a guy who everyone said was immaculate in everything he done behind the stumps, whether for Bermuda or St. George's or Flats. But you had to bring your own flavor to it. So following that, Dennis Wainwright's attributes to the game, what was it like for you to stamp your authority as Douglas in the team? We'll be right back.
All right.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
And welcome back. Well,
Yes.
Dougie, again, I'll ask the question again because I think following someone who had all that around them, such as in Dennis Wainwright, you're probably getting all sorts of words in your ear about what you have to be like Dennis, but you had to bring your own flavor. You had to bring your own style. And what was it like going through that whole transition?
I lost you a sec. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, that's a great question. The great thing is, I was naive to a lot of that stuff. That was my advantage. I was very naive. I didn't, like I said, cup match wasn't like up in my head and all of that stuff. Going to play it, they're great at make the team. Bam, great. Mr. Wainwright was my neighbor, someone I admired, watched, and all of that stuff. Good stuff. So I didn't look at how he dressed. I mean, I did look at him, but it wasn't one of the things that I looked at as to be the keeper. I didn't look at those things. It didn't bother me. That was never fazed me. The one thing that they talked about a lot was whether I was able to keep to Parfit. And that was a big thing they talked about, because for 20 years, you got Mr. Wainwright keeping to Parfit, and so obviously you know him and things like that. So that was the only little challenge that people threw out there. Mm-hmm. But the rest about the dress and the collar up and all of that was never my style anyway.
Right.
And so it was just a matter of that day keeping when the ball came, and I collected. But remember, I've always been a student of the game. That's what I did. Back then, I was involved in this book club through England, and I was getting cricket books, 2 of them a month. We didn't have internet back then. We didn't have all of that stuff. We had faxes and telexes then. Yeah. So I would get in the mail 2 cricket books a month. There was the Wisden magazine and the Cricketer magazine that came out monthly. I had stacks and stacks of them. So everything to do with cricket, I read. Had it at my fingertips. I had such a cricket library. I remember guys like Roger Trott and guys like that would come around and they would borrow books out of the library. That's how much books I had to do with cricket. So I was well into the game, and nothing's changed today, I read so much to do with cricket. Chairman of High Performance. Honor and I just came from a course in Mexico where coach tutoring course, right? I'm curator. I've done the curator course. I've done the commentary course. My cricket evolves constantly. So I'm constantly growing. That's why I can embrace the players today, how they think, how they want to go about it. I could embrace that and add something that's going to help them. So because I was such a student and still a student of the game and realized that I still learn, coming in after Mr. Wainwright wasn't the challenge of him competing against him or his legacy. You know, it was just me going there and doing what I had to do because I knew that, you know, the basics you stick to. Every ball comes to you. That's all. That's the only thing you need to do as a wicketkeeper. They stay down and all that stuff, but you may stay down and not think the ball's coming to you. So I just tell anybody, listen, every ball is coming in your gloves. You can automatically stay down if it's down there, isn't it? So that was my MO then. It's still my MO today. It's everything's coming to me. So I didn't have that pressure of replacing somebody, you know. And then it was also good because I had his support. You know, I know at first, you know, he was disappointed from being dropped. That's normal. But as my neighbor, I had his support. He will stop. If I'm ever in the yard, him coming by, he would stop and we chat. So I had the support. So it wasn't like I was, you know, under a microscope and concerned about how well I do or if I let down a legacy, because the person that was the legend supported me.
Right. Now, after your first year, everybody remembers in 1979. In 78, St. George really became young. You know, you guys came in, Allen, Rendell, Clevie. You guys were really, really young. Newell was still young at the time as well. And then the following year, we lost the cup. That 79, what did that teach you about cup match itself?
Well, what it taught me is, remember, that team that came to play had a lot of guys from the ICC Bermuda, representing Bermuda over there in England. They had come back off for like six weeks of cricket, right? So they were a well-oiled machine. We had some guys that played over there, but we were still young. And that's okay. We were still young. It was no other way for us to go but up. And as simple as that. We took it in stride. We embraced it. I think that what's important is that the selectors at that time need to be commended. They're the heroes. You talk about Mr. Oliver Casey, bless his soul, was the wonderful man. Mosh, heavyset guys. Mr. Packwood. And then I know guys were in administration, Mr. N.D. Smith, and Mr. Beard Daniels, and even Gladgett Fogo. All these guys were in administration, and these people had a vision. They knew that, okay, we're going to take a big gamble. We've had this trophy for 20 years, but we do need to make some changes for the future. So they then turned around and said, listen, we've got to bring some young ones in. And they did that. And it paid handsomely for St. George's for years to come. My challenge to any club is build for that future. It's, you know, I know it's been 10 years since St. George's wrestled the trophy. You know, you want to get it back. And so you sometimes might make knee-jerk selections for the first foot to get it one time. Sometimes they might have to just sit back and say, listen, this is for the long haul. This is what I know. If we get 2 years out of this, the third year or the second year, we got this for 5-6 years. And it's like investment, isn't it? You're not going to get any scheme that gets you dividends overnight. And a whole lot of them, you need to question.
Exactly.
So ask yourself the question, you know, am I investing in my future? Am I investing in my community? Those are not questions for me. You know? Those are questions for either club.
Right.
You know?
So Somerset really turned around and done the same thing years later with the team they have currently now, that they've really utilized maybe over the last probably 12 years, they've probably only utilized no more than 16 different players. I've
got some numbers here from 2000. I did some calculations the other day. I'll have it more later, but it's I think for the last 5 years, I've counted who has how many how many new guys have come in for each team,
Right.
and the likes. And obviously, St. George's is ahead of the curve, and they've done that. And then guys are one-hit wonders and things like that.
Mhm.
What are we planning for the future? Again, it's not my club to make that call,
Right.
but they just need to. I didn't even want to tell them what to do, because St. George's get real finicky. You tell them stuff, they get all knickers and twists and all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
if you want to pick a one-horse wonder, then hopefully you get the cup. If you want to do an investment, then do an investment, knowing that it will pay dividends. It will, because we have some fine players in Bermuda. We have some fine players in St. George's. I think St. George's has a lot of talent there. A lot of talent. It's how we're going to nurture that talent. That counts.
Yeah. I mean, back when you were playing, it was 83 that you then wrestled the cup back from Somerset. But it was that investment over that 4-year period that it paid dividends.
Exactly.
He came back in 82 and then came back in 83. That was when it was a 2-year bout. Nobody wanted to lose the first year when they hosted.
Yeah.
You hosted, then
Right.
the game was moved to the other club. So it was a lot at stake, not just for what the players think, but it was also the club itself, and you're putting pressure on.
I wonder if that will work today, because think about it, you don't want to lose that first year, but that was serious.
No, sir. Oh, yeah. You had instructions that first year.
Better believe it. You better bet your butt off. And so, would that make the game a bit more challenging now? I'm telling you, it might help our cricket, because guys will sit up and bet.
Yes.
Guys will sit up and bet.
The club invests back then. The club was investing so much time and money into the 2 days that you wanted it for that second time around.
That's right.
Lost it. Oh my gracious!
The second year, it was paying you some money. So and then think about the challenge, though. Think about the challenge in going and winning it on the first year. You take it back.
Yeah.
We don't have that now, but that's a sweet little permutation there.
Even if you had the cup, if St. George's had the cup, or even if Somerset had the cup, the first year you go to the other club, you try your best to win it, because you want to take it straight back.
You win that, and you hurt the pocketbooks, mate.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool,
Right.
But no, and I understand today why they will do what they do, because they want both clubs to thrive, and so year and about, each club gets a chance and a fair chance, So that's good too. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with Alan Douglas, former St. George's wicketkeeper. We'll be right back.
I'm also thankful and grateful, because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
Putting down the weapons.
Have you seen this?
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
And welcome back, Dougie.
Mhm.
Let me change narratives just a little bit because I
Okay.
know you talked a lot about county. That was your bread and butter. That's what you grew up knowing, loving, understanding. That for you, that was bigger than Cup Match. So
That's right.
the first time you got selected to represent Cleveland County, do you remember that?
Well, that's
You've lost a bit of connection.
Tobit School over Harris's Bay behind Marsden Church.
Uh-huh.
So I think, seriously, I just think that's where it was. Again, I don't even remember, like, it was always big to get selected for county.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah.
thing. Being selected was almost inevitable because I was the regular string keeper for a
Right.
while. The scary part is the night before.
Mm.
That's when it's hitting you. And I was talking to Mr. John Logan Jones, and Keegan Jones is there today.
Uh-huh.
And I was saying, I watched the older son play. I said, what happened? He was flat, like he didn't field the ball the way he should have. He came on, he built a full toss, which was a no ball, another no ball. And he said, the boy couldn't eat. He was too nervous, he couldn't eat. So there's countless stories of fellas before County Cup.
Yes.
Peter Philpott. Peter Philpott's up in his hallway batting all night. I'm in front of a mirror, shadowing, throwing a ball, catching a ball. You're just really scared.
Yes.
Really scared. Until you get at the game, you're scared. You know what? And Cleveland got on to play the next county game. I'm nervous as well.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I'm nervous even when Cleveland got to play county and I'm not playing. So it just makes me like that. But when you're gonna play county, you're walking to the wicket. Particularly at that time, I was the main scorer for Cleveland for a lot of years, going down to county. And you only got one shot, man. You got like one shot at this thing, so the pressure is on you to score runs. That's big pressure. I remember one time, I'm sitting on Devil's Wall before the Thursday before the match. You go out there and you have, a little barbecue or something like that. And Killer Cal Smith came to me. I mean, he's a big guy.
Right.
Oh, his eyes are always red. Always serious. I mean, he's a guy, and the world nurse, bless his soul, who ride a horse into swinging doors with his daughter.
Uh-huh.
That's how tough he was.
Right.
So he telling me, and he's strictly Cleveland, Larry Smith or Hooker Smith, Otis Smith from Devil's Hill. He's telling me about him in County Cup is gonna kill me. Now you internalize that stuff if you're from Cleveland County.
Yes.
But you look at this guy, and this guy, he's not smiling.
Right.
The eyes are bloodshot. Like, okay. So you're frightened like hell. And I'm going County Cup down, babe. Anybody ask Neil Gibbons? I'm sitting there batting. And I'm crying. So Neil, in Neil's customary form, says, and how Neil says it, with his stutter, and with a couple of choice words, because I'm his opposition. What on earth you crying for? I said, well, if I'd have been Connie, they're gonna kill me. Well, all he could do is laugh. He couldn't even get mad at me, Dan, and try to get me out. He said, "Don't go ahead and bat, Mike." So that's how serious and intense it is. Some still feel that way. I know the McGowan boy, call him Clint Mackay. He is, oh my God, he's serious. Connie means a lot to him.
Right.
And you see, we don't say county, we say Connie. Right? It means a lot to him and Burr's son and these guys. It means a lot to a lot. Others don't embrace it, internalize it. They want to play, they want to do well, all of that fine. But to each his own. But some, like, you got to remember, this guy McGowan, he comes from a long line of McGowans that played and won trophy. The McGowan brothers, Mac and Mike, won the trophy, and I played under them. And so it goes back to his uncles, his great uncles, okay, Winky and them, who were stalwarts of Cleveland.
Yes.
So this guy still internalizes today, and so we got a few that still like that, and that's what we want to keep, and that's what we want to encourage and try to hang on to, as much as St. George's wants to do the same thing down St. George's. Yeah.
Now, what would you? Which performance, first individually, stands out for you in county, and then as a team? Because I think I know you're gonna say the team one was when you guys won it over St. David's, but I'll let you sell that.
No, we won it over Bay. The team was, but we won it over Baylor's Bay. We scored 122.
Right.
Down there at Baylor's Bay, 122.
Yes.
And I remember that's when the jumbo jets were just coming out. Jumbo jets had just started landing in Bermuda. And this guy, Tolbert, T, called him. T had told him they're going to be 7 for 47. See, jumbo jet, 7 for 47. He said, we're going to have you 7 for 47, but we had Baylor's Bay 7 for 47. And here's a guy that, replaced a little wager here and there. So he made some money. And so I remember Noel got injured. I remember his sister Flo. He had to come off the field because he got an injury, bless her soul. And she had to help him off the field.
Right.
Bandaged all up, and Noel came back bandaged up. That's the champion he is, the fighter, bandaged all up. We had Kevin Ratterby, Paisley Keynes, Larry Smith, Mike McGowan, Johnny Richardson, myself, my brother Stephen, Metney McGowan. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we knocked them down for less than 122. We were famous for actually being able to defend low totals.
Right.
And that's why I keep saying today that if you win them in County Cup, don't worry about the big totals. You go back first, you score 220, 230. That team's not going to bother chasing that. They get to it, they get to it. They don't, they don't.
Right.
You score something where they think they can reach it.
Yeah, 140.
You place that carrot just where they can taste and feel it.
Yes.
And you build and field like demons. And they feel they can get it, and you take a wicket here. Then they feel they can get it, you take a wicket there. And all of a sudden, you got them where you want.
Yeah.
That's how we played it, because, well, we weren't teams we weren't making a whole lot of runs anyway.
Right.
We never made a whole lot of runs in the best of times.
Right, right.
I was going down County Cup year after year. I was peeling off 50 up on 50 up on 50. And I said, talking to Flats the other week, I said, the unfortunate part about chasing the County Cup and you don't have it, he said, you don't get to bat long for those centuries.
Right.
Because you're always chasing something. And so when you're chasing, you're going to create more risk.
Right.
And that's what happened to me. I kept chasing. I'm a team player. I'm going after it.
Right.
The other year when Cleveland made some good runs down there, we were in trouble, and Mackay Young went in and scored a wonderful century. I remember the night before, the Thursday before, at my house, at the team barbecue, that here's our total we're going to get, and this is what we're going to do, regardless who's on what.
Right.
But they didn't. They got there and you go get your century. So you getting your century, which is a wonderful, wonderful hallmark and great achievement. But the team didn't, but it was against the team's plans.
Right. And
so that's the compromise that I saw today. That's what they want to do, then fine. And I don't take the knock from it because it was fantastic. So
Mm.
but back then, I was 100 wasn't an issue.
Right.
It was the target we set, and then we're going to get it, and we're going to go in and gonna try to build them out.
Right. Right.
Because I've always been a team player. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I work for the team.
Yeah.
So
Were you in the Cleveland team the year that everyone touched the cup?
yes. I was there then. I think Flats took it from us.
Uh-huh.
I think Flats took it from us.
Right.
I think. I'm not sure. I'm not going. I'd have to go back and ask my brother Steve and all of that stuff. But I know one time we played. I was playing against Bubba Woolridge and stuff, and and Mr. Fogo, TV
Yeah.
Fogo called Robert Simons for no ball. Robert Simons like Michael Hilton, he never built a no ball in his life. So that was a burn of contention. And then the school book went missing.
Oh.
And bless this fella's soul, he passed away and we never found the school book.
Oh.
So, because
Wow.
we knew that, and we had some good scorers there. We had the guy, T. Talbot, he used to score nicely, and his sister, Carla Talbot, used to score for us, and she did all this pretty stuff. So you couldn't match the school books, and it was some discrepancy. And I think that to play something over again or whatever like that. So it was some discrepancy, and it was, I thought, a lot of people at Cleveland say that we got the short end of the stick of at a lot of times, and I think we did.
Right.
You know, the umpire called a no ball to somebody that never built a no ball, and his work colleague was on the Flats team. Oh, that damn nonsense.
Oh.
But that makes good history. That
Yeah.
makes good conversation and good arguments and things like that. It is what it is, you know, and you take it in
Yeah.
stride.
It's almost like what happens today is no surprise because it's probably happened before.
But there's nothing new under the sun, Earl.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
nothing new under the sun. It's the reaction today
Yeah.
that is the alarming part.
Right. Right.
The reaction today. You know, we
Yeah.
took a lot of beatings, a lot of things. Like, you know, I remember stumping, was it Ricky or Neil Gibbons down the leg side? Billy Davis said not out. Well, Billy Davis paid his pay, you know. So I looked at him like, you know, choice words under my breath and stuff like that. But we sucked up a lot back there.
Right.
But today they don't necessarily take it that way. And that leads me to this question that I want to throw out there to people. We talk about dissent and behavior, and things like that. Not questioning the umpire's decision. We talk about that greatly. But today's rules in the game you can ask for a referral. So my question, I was hoping Mr. Wainwright will be on tonight, or some of the, or if Matt Lawrence is listening, and a couple of older fellas, is that, all right, so some believe if you edge the ball, you walk. A lot of the Australians believe, and my teaching comes from, is that you be consistent.
Yes.
If the umpire gives you, you go. If the umpire don't give you, you don't go. I don't believe in edging and walking. I don't. I'm not a walker.
Right.
The umpire's going to have to make the decision, but he makes the decision, I walk.
Right.
That's just it. So the question I want to ask today, that if you don't walk, and let's say we have, and it will come here within a year's time, Bermuda's going to have the third umpire and the cameras for the referrals and stuff that's going to come. So if you now decide that I'm not walking, I'm going to
challenge
put the tee up, you know, and have a review. Is that considered dissent? Because you are questioning the umpire's decision.
Well, you are, but it's within the rules now. Because
Thank
you
you
can
very much. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. So where's this thing where you call the gentleman? The gentleman in the past days
would just
walk automatically.
Yes.
So my thing is, would the gentleman today, no, would the gentleman of yesterday walk and don't refer?
That's a good question, because some will look at a situation and depending on what the score is, may decide, you know what, I ain't walking because if I walk, that's it, it's over.
But again, would the gentleman of yesterday walk today?
Most will say,
we can't answer that, you know. But that's what I want the guys like my good friend Mark Lawrence and Dennis Rainbow to answer.
yeah, most will say yeah because that's how they were. But you put them in a different situation, some might change that mindset because you know, you're looking at.
I'm a person that's gonna play by the rules.
Right.
If the rules allow it, then I'm gonna do it.
Right.
It's that simple. You know, if need be. And it's the same thing when it comes to, and I Dexter Smith and I have a long conversation this all the time about the man-cat, meaning, you know, where you run up and you don't complete your delivery, you run the guy out for taking a few steps into whatever.
Right.
It's in the rules to do that. But if you do it, you're chastised.
Yeah.
But it's within the rules.
If you weren't in the rules, yes, you could chastise, but it's in the rules.
It's in the rules. So is it allowed for the guy to steal? And I'm saying 2 inches.
Yeah.
He gets down the other end and he gets in by an inch.
Yes.
Because you run him out, you attempt to run out, is in by an inch. The camera sees that and he gets away with it because he's still 2 inches at the other end.
Yeah.
Again, who is wrong? Is there wrong? There's really no wrong, I don't think.
Right.
Now people would say, well, the spirit of the game.
Mm.
But the spirit of the game is playing is within the rules of the game.
Yes.
And those are things I just want to put out there to people to really think about, because those are the things that go on. And I think some of our guys today are challenged with that.
Right.
Our guys are challenged with that. You know, you have a couple of guys in some teams that would do, you know, the man-cat, they call it, quite often. And they're chastised and challenged.
Yeah.
Is it right? You know? So I don't know. All I know is the rules.
It's in the
if
rules.
You're stealing up this end. You know, you go down the road and steal something, cops catch you and they lock you up, right?
Yep. Yeah. So
Okay.
if you're stealing an inch and I catch you, you're out. You gotta go.
But, you know, it's a good debate. It's a good debating subject. That's all.
Yeah. But we're gonna take our final commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more with Alan Douglas.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
I'm also thankful and grateful because my greatest value of my life is my legacy.
But why I do it? I feel supposed to do it. I was put here to be here, to do what I'm doing right now. Once I see somebody moving, it's the greatest joy for me. There's a little person being born.
I am thankful that people have given me the trust, you know, for me to empower them, from my players to my family to friends. And that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that people have allowed me and trusted me to be in their life.
welcome back. Dougie, you're still heavily involved in the game.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to players prior to the season starting if they have ambitions of, 1, representing the country, 2, making cut match, 3, making the county team, whether it be Eastern, Central, or Western?
I'd like to really see of their game, meaning put the work in, stop cutting corners, train a bit more. You know, we talk about fitness, and then believe it or not, a lot of these boys are into some gyms. But I would challenge them. Listen, mate, if you're a quick bowler, I'm not a big fitness guru, but if you're a quick bowler, bowl plenty overs so that you're fit to bowl the overs. If you're going to be a batsman and you want to succeed, hit plenty balls. Club training isn't going to get you all the assets, everything that you need. You're going to have to do a little bit of something different. Now, we've just wonderfully now got these tennis ball machines that spit out balls. Let me tell you something. The success of Wendell, Clay, Charlie, these guys used to hit tons and tons and tons of tennis balls. Ain't nothing new, you know, now they're doing it all again. So hit plenty balls, bowl plenty balls, and do a lot of fielding. That's what I'd encourage them to do more of. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah.
What they would do, what they like to do now more of is before season, they're showing up 1-2 weeks and then they're playing. And that's not going to get them where they need to go. But I have to also understand, and I keep saying this to people, 85% of people that play cricket are playing for fun.
Yes.
They're hanging out with the mates. It's somewhere to go. It's a great laugh. It offers a bit of competition, but it's competition without like, well, if I win, I win, I fail, I fail. It's not a big thing, but for a little while it gives a bit of competition. So some of them really want to just hang around friends. So we at the clubs and the coaching staff has to understand, everybody, oh, this person not professional, this person not serious. You know, I listen to one particular club now, and they keep playing, the guys aren't showing up to train. Well, one, they're not that serious, this club. They're not serious at all. They are just having fun. So show up to train, make the training total fun, and have a laugh after. The ones that want to go on now, the ones that want to take it serious, you put the time in with them, which is easy to do. So my advice is for those that want to make it, just try to put a bit more time in. Forget the fact that it's a microwave. And we're not got microwavable batsmen and bowlers. Forget the microwave approach. Forget the approach that if you want to play for Bermuda, you should be given a chance because you're young. Forget the point that, oh, because you show up, you automatically should be playing. No. When you show up, what work are you doing? So it's not, you're not going to get it easily. And this is my advice to them today. It's not going to come easy, guys. Some of it might, because you might be talented, but just put the extra training in. If you do an hour extra a week, I'm just saying an hour along with your clubs. So you're training with your club, maybe 2 hours, that's Thursday, Tuesday, and an extra hour somewhere, you know, just put the extra time in and then you'll be okay. I
had a chuckle on Saturday at the Eastern County to watch the two teams warm up. Something that if you went to a regular cricket game, you ain't gonna see that. Some of them are just showing up after the toss to find out. I'm saying what you guys are trying to do right now is take this thing, what energy you have, it's gonna be burnt out before the game even starts.
Oh man. But I will tell you, I think this year I've seen the approach to matches improve. I do. I before, I think, I think during the pandemic, the guys were just showing up and rolling up, But I know this year it's been a big improvement. I've been excited and pleased with most clubs this year in that they're betting more overs. Earl, they're betting this 50 over league. Teams are scoring 300 runs.
Right.
Some teams are betting 50 overs.
Yes.
Remember, the average overs teams were betting before was 35.
Yeah.
Now it's going up to 40. So Bermuda cricket is on the rise. To me, it's on the rise. So we got to embrace that rise and keep pushing it.
Yeah. So we're leading ourselves into the annual Cup Match Classic.
Yes.
Clearly, Somerset have dominated the last 10 years. They've put in positions where they've almost won 2-1 on, I think, 3 or 4 occasions.
Yes.
And they've had the consistent team. What would be advice to the challengers, especially this year, knowing what amount of runs have been put on that wicket up at Somerset? Strip they're going to use probably is the one next year. But, I mean, the track is the track.
Yeah. Well, I was chatting to Coolidge Durham and Rodney Trott today. And it was great because they thanked me, said, "Hey, thank you, Dougie, man." I said, look at this game, and Rodney saw it that way as well. In overs, break it down in overs. You got 3 sessions a day. It's about 40 overs a session, 42 it should be. But let's say you're burning 38 overs a session. You're going to lose 12 overs a day in cricket because of it's just how when they go off for water, the teams are going off the field.
Right.
Instead of the people bringing the water on. A 50, 100, and all of those things. You lose 12 overs a day. So you look at the maximum overs you're supposed to basically bowl, take away the 12, and you gauge yourself. So example, I said, now, if St. George's bat first, I know for a few times they've been trying to post runs real quick, and I see a scenario, what I think they're doing is trying to put quick runs on the board. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. Ask yourself, how successful has that been? So one solution might be, and I'm just throwing this out because there's many ways of going to wrestle that cup, is if you bet first, then look to bet to tea time.
Yeah.
Oh, you've betted 3/4 of the day? Yeah. Look to bet to tea. Remember, what I talked about is the amount of overs teams are betting this season. So if teams are averaging 40 overs and some are going to 50, you bet to tea and you plan to bet a good 300, 320, 330 runs. If you bet sensible, you can get runs on the wicket. The wicket's going to deteriorate slightly, hoping a couple of things you could do to deteriorate it. That's behind the back door stuff. But, you can then look to bowl 40 overs in that evening, 38 overs that evening. That's a chunk of overs to bowl at them. Now, and try to pick up 3/4 of the team that evening.
Right.
The next day, you're fresh in the morning, aren't you? And you come hard at them in the morning again. And don't waste time with certain things, that take up time. You got to keep moving, got to be energized. It's a lot of work. And then hopefully you can get them out cheap, get them back in, or you go in, that's when you post your big runs, you bet 20 overs. It becomes a 20-20 match for you then. You bet 20 overs and score as much as you can. Then you get them back in. And hopefully you have enough time to bowl them out with what the total you got. That's just one permutation. But Douglas, what if they don't bat first? They bowl first. Same thing. You give yourself 40 overs that you want to bowl them out in.
Right.
You want to bowl them out in 40 overs. Now, in order to bowl them out in 40 overs, I'm assuming that you're going to look at every single player from St. George's. By now, you should know how every single player in Bermuda plays.
Yes.
By now, you should know that somebody's going to take you outside the first over from Somerset. You You should know all of that. By now, you should be working on all of that with your players. And I'm sure Clay is very smart and one of the better coaches we got in this country. I know he's onto all of that. So he'll be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know he will have the plans there. The players will then have to be able to execute and get South out of the way and get team in place. Get South out of the way and play for team. And I think St. George's then will have that chance. Now, you got to build them out twice, you know.
Yes.
So you got to do that twice. Now, I was talking to Taryn yesterday. He was training with the national squad. Taryn's looking good. Trey's looking good.
Yeah.
Stephen Outerbridge is looking good. I'm like, darn it. Chris Douglas is looking good.
Yes.
So I'm like, we're not going to get them all out cheap. If we get them cheap twice, wow, we're done a great job.
Yeah.
Now it's cricket. It can happen. Cricket, it can happen. You know? So, yeah. So it can happen. So I think that just try to budget 40 overs at them. You know them, you study them, and go at them hard. Set your fields the way you want, and you make them earn their runs.
Right.
You know, and I think they must work with that. It's going to be a difficult task. It's going to be a lot of work,
but it's not impossible.
Oh, of course, not impossible. This is Bermuda cricket, and there's only 4 batsmen I'm looking at that really will do anything. You know,
right?
I'm not looking beyond that 4. Stephen, Chris, Trey, and Taryn.
Stephen didn't play last year, did he?
No, but Stephen's in some good nick, bro. He's in some good nick.
Okay.
He's in some great nick. You know, I'm not really. Who else they have after those 4?
Oh yeah, Dion's in good stead.
D, shucks, I forgot D.
Yeah.
I forgot D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unknown whether or not Kamal will be back. So we'll see.
That's 40. That's 40 runs and out.
You're right.
That's 40 runs and out. So, yeah, I just think that it's going to be an uphill battle, but it doesn't mean that they can't do it. They have the spinners there. You know, I don't know if they're going to take the little lefty Greaves this year. I don't know how much. I don't even know how much Berlin has done.
Right.
And then you got the boy Painter, the president's son. I haven't read a whole lot about him.
Right.
You know, we have an array of quick bowlers to choose from. And that might be something that you can go with. You got Zico. You got Zico there. Guys are talking about George. I don't know. I'm not sure if George is in their equation. I'm not sure. But you got Zico, and if he's up for 2 days, he can be a handful. They got McGowan's bowling fantastic for Cleveland now, and hitting the ball big. If they look at him, I don't know. They got the boy still, Darryl. So they got some bowlers there.
Right.
They got some bowlers, but I think the spinning department would have to revolve around Allen and Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney contains. Allen will pick up wickets. He bowls his stuff. He will pick up wickets because he's just an attacking bowler. You know, he may go for a couple of runs, but he will pick up wickets. And so that's what they're going to have to look at, you know?
Right. Well, happy cup match.
Yes, I'll be up there watching the game. I'm a vantage point of commentating, so it'll be fantastic up there.
All right. Well,
I
want to thank you very much for your time. And folks,
thank you.
We'll be back next week with another edition of A Walk Down Memory Lane. Thank you, Alan Douglas.
Thank you, mate. All right. Cheers.